Shaolin Fantastic. It's early in the morning. On my way to work, y'all know how I do. Dark 30 in the morning to dark 30 at night. Getting busy like that. It's dark and motherfucker. It may lighten up a little bit on my way to work. It's been a little while since I've recorded a video. Been busy. I was on vacation for a little while. I went to Colombia and the Dominican Republic. Those are two places I went to. I went to several cities in each of those countries. And I had a good time. I really did. And not only that, once I got back to work, I was swamped when I left and took off vacation, and I was swamped when I got back. So it was like crazy. So I got a few things I want to catch up on. Hey, brother Art Banaka, I'm going to comment on your video, because when I was in the Dominican Republic, I observed a few things, and I talked to a few people over there and some Haitians that I know over here about that situation. I don't consider myself a professional or an expert on that subject, but there were a few things that I came across that I found pretty interesting over there on that subject of Haiti and the Dominican Republic, and I'm gonna probably try to comment on it tonight when I'm off work, and I'll probably have a little time this weekend to engage in that conversation, because there is a few things I want to say about that. So be looking out for that video, brother Banaka, and I'll be coming at you with it. But in this one right here, I just kind of want to go over a few things in general. But I think my central focus on this one is going to be female nature, because like over the past few days, I would say a week or so, there's been a sort of raging debate, especially in black YouTube, about alpha males and female nature. And I've discussed female nature before, and there's one guy in particular that commented on female nature, and his name is Alan Roger Curry. Y'all know how I feel about him. I like him, his books and his perspective on. I don't agree with everything he says, but I like a lot of things that he does say. And he did a video about and saying most men can't handle female nature. In other words, you know, when a man gets red pilled, different men deal with the red pill in different ways. You have the Elliot Rodger scenario, when he was pretty much red pilled to female nature, and he went and killed a bunch of women. Now, although I do believe that is a rare occurrence whenever something like that does happen, because it has happened in several instances. But for the most part, most guys don't react violently. Most guys don't. They don't react violently, but a lot do. I mean, there's some that do. And one thing I noticed about the guys that are commenting on it, most of them are black. Most of them, not all. But there's a lot of white commenters that comment on this one. I'm just talking about the raging debate now. There's a lot of white commenters, and even Mexican. There's a guy named Kendall Rican, and he is a MGTOW, and he talks about these things. But the reason why I'm bringing up the black guys is because one thing I'm noticing, they're not really being race specific. And that's a point that I've made before about female nature. It knows no race. Female nature knows no race. The same problems that I'm hearing about from black people is the same problems that I hear coming from white people, Mexican, Asians, you name it. It's the same shit. And almost down the line. Almost down the line, almost to the T. Almost. You get to hear these guys talk about female nature and the 80-20 rule. And the 80-20 rule is real. The 80-20 rule has been observed in nature and animals. The 80-20 rule has been observed in insects. The 80-20 rule is nothing more than the natural animal state. When a female is left to her own devices to choose, right? So the 80-20 rule is pervasive in the Western societies because I went over this before. Because basic shelter, food and water and running water and things like that can be obtained rather easily. Well, in some cases, almost no effort at all. So if you know that those things are going to be provided, certain things are going to be provided to you no matter what you do, no matter what kind of mistakes you make, then women will revert to basic nature. Now, this is not all women. Of course, all women are not like this. I just say it's too damn many, but it's not all. It's never all. And this is a point that Alan Roger Curry brought up, and he said even though female nature is out there and every woman is capable of it, a lot of women don't act on it because of background and upbringing. So that goes back to culture. See, that'll go back to culture. Like when you go to like Latina countries and you see they're very family oriented, but once you get that second or third generation over here, you get them in America, they revert back to being American, which is, I just say, it's just people just doing whatever the hell they want to do. You see what I'm saying? And when they get a chance to do, I've even seen with my own eyes, because people revere, men in general. They some of them don't admit it, but they revere the way a lot of Arabs have their women in check. And I'm speaking specifically of those Muslim Arabs, and how they a lot of times you don't even see their wives. Well, I've seen with my own eyes, I've seen second and third generation Arabs that live here in this country, act no different than any other woman that's been here in this country. I've seen a woman with a turban on her head. I've seen this. Curse her man out. Say all kind of curse words, act all out of pocket, and you could tell the difference between somebody who just got here and one of those Arabs that were born here, or Muslims that were born here and lived their whole life, and all they knew was America, and all they see the programming and all the things. The evidence of this is all around you. But I've seen that, and these Muslim guys have a reputation of having their women in check, and I've seen it on more than one occasion. I've seen it, and I never forget one time I was at work and I was servicing one of my customers, and I went in and I saw it. I walked right in the middle of this, and that lady was Muslim. She had a turban on her head. She had the little thing wrapped on her head, and she was going off on her husband. She was going off, and this guy, I know him. He's one of these Muslim guys, and strict religious. Now I don't know what he said after that. I just know she was even cursing. You know what I'm saying? She was even cursing at him. Now but upon further, because that happened a little while later, so I did a little digging, and I just asked a few questions here and there. I didn't just go in and pry, but I would ask, I found out how old she was. She was in her mid to late 20s at the time, and she was born here. And he's pretty young. He was like 30, just approaching 30. And he was born here. And it's just like I say, you expose women and the people to the Western society. I don't care what culture they came from. Sooner or later, it's gonna rub off on them. I mean, that's just the way it is. And I've said this before. Female nature knows no. It just knows no race. It doesn't know any race. And speaking of the 80-20 rule, see, the 80-20 rule is it's a red pill. It's a red pill concept, but the 80-20 rule and the red pill, it's just hard concepts for men to accept. See, I'm an older gentleman, and I guess in YouTube terms, and the people that I converse with on my side of the YouTube ledger, I'm an older gentleman. I'm 45. I'll be 46 this year, and I'm not ashamed of that. I feel like I've learned a lot over my life. I've made good decisions. I made bad decisions, but there were instances that happened in my life that red pilled me. I was red pilled little by little, a little bit in my 20s, a lot in my 30s, and then like in your 40s, when you get in your 40s, you gather all this information and you come up with this, you see, and and then you build defenses to these things, to like things that happen once you come to the realization of true female nature. And that most women, if they had the choice, they would stand in line to fuck one alpha male. They'll literally stand in line. Like there'll be hundreds of them standing in line to fuck with one alpha male, if they could get away with that, and have his kid. Genghis Khan was an alpha male and has a bloodline that exists to this day, and fucked many women and had offspring with him. This is nothing. This is not new. Not only is this not new, it's ingrained in humans. It is a natural instinctive desire to do these kind of things. This is why you see so many guys pretending to be alpha. Because, even if you pretend to be alpha, you may not even be alpha, you may be beta. If you pretend to be alpha on the surface and that gets a woman's panties wet, then you achieve your objective to get that pussy. You see what I'm saying? A lot of guys are out here pretending to be alpha. I saw this video, and I'm referencing this video. It was a Jamaican girl. I'm gonna see, can I put this thing in the link? I'm not computer savvy. I do most of my shit from my phone. So I'm gonna try to see, can I put the link to this video that this Jamaican girl put up. And she's some sort of, I guess, an IG model. Now looking at her, she's very exotic looking in the face, pretty. Pretty in the face, exotic looking. Certainly exotic looking. She doesn't look like the average Jamaican. The average Jamaican that I know are darker skinned. But this particular girl, she claims she was Jamaican. That's what she said. I don't know, but I think she's some sort of IG model or something like that. She started the video off talking about a bunch of guys in her inbox, and she was just saying, they were all saying, a lot of guys were, I want you to be my wifey, and wifey this, wifey that, and she was just saying that, a lot of y'all can't handle this because I want a guy that, she was saying all kind of off the wall crazy shit. It was so crazy that, I just believe that she may have been tongue-in-cheek joking, but serious at the same time, one of those kind of deals. I mean, you just have to check it out. She was saying shit like, you have to be chivalrous, and I want you to do this, and I like to twerk my ass in the club, and if you can't accept that, then you don't need to be with me. And she was saying all kind of crazy stuff. You got to accept this, you got to accept that, you got to accept me texting you, and you better text me back, and like when I text you, you better text me right back. I don't give a damn what's going on. No, shit like that. She was saying stuff like that. And I couldn't help, when I watched the video, and I couldn't help but think what she said at the beginning of that video and who she was addressing. Everybody that was in her inbox. Look, guys that be in inboxes and all that stupid shit, those are definitely beta males. That woman, and I couldn't help but think, that woman would never, ever, ever, not in a million fucking years, say that to an alpha male or somebody she deemed alpha or a guy that got her pussy wet. She would never say those things. She would never say those things. Never. She would never, not to him, she would never do that. That message was for all those simps that's jumping and doing backflips trying to get in that pussy. Alpha male, he don't do all that. You know, he'll just outright ignore a woman like that because he's getting so much pussy. That's why alphas get so much pussy, because he'll outright ignore a woman like that. And one thing women crave is attention. And if you're an alpha male and she deems you attractive, then if she has to give you the pussy to get your attention, then that's what she'll do. But when you're a beta, giving this woman all this attention, she ain't gotta give you no pussy to get your attention. And that's one of the things I learned from a guy that was getting a lot of pussy. Hey man, calling a woman all the time, doing all this shit, that ain't gonna get you the pussy. I've experienced this in my life where, when I was younger, I used to hound women because I didn't know any better, And I'll be the first to admit I didn't know any better, Even my dad used to tell me not to do it, but I did it anyway because I was just stupid. I just thought that that's what you had to do. And but when I stopped doing that and I just started doing me, I found that the pussy walks to you in a lot of cases. Not all the time, but it walks to you. But I just remember this one instance when I stopped talking to this girl. I stopped interacting with her because she never gave me no pussy. And I figured out that she wasn't going to give me any sexual attention. So I stopped talking to her. So about 6 months went by. And she called me. And you know what I did? I was in my, at this time, I probably was in like my mid to late 20s. I probably was like 26, 27, so like maybe almost 20 years ago. And you know what I did? Because this girl was fine. This girl was fine. There's like a lot of guys want to fuck this girl. You know what I did? And I did it on purpose, just to see what would happen. Because I was like, what I got to lose? I haven't even fucked her yet. So when she called, I spoke with her for maybe 30 seconds. And I said, hey, look, I'm a little busy right now. I had to get back with you later. I did this on purpose. I wasn't specific with the time that I was going to get back with her. None of that. I just said, look, I'm busy right now. I'll get back with you later. And I intentionally did not call her back. I didn't. And I flipped the situation on its head because, all right, a day or two went by and she called. And I had already made my mind up, you know what? I'm just gonna treat this woman like shit because she ain't give me no, I don't really have any ties to her. What do I have to lose besides her just saying, well, I just won't call her back anymore. So when she called me back, she said, it's been 2 days and you said you were gonna call me back. I said, well, I told her, well, I don't remember having any sort of obligation to you to do that. Why am I obligated to call you back when you want me to call you back? I don't remember doing that. And you know what she said to me? Because I had the balls enough to say that right to her, and I said it right then and there. She said, I never had nobody talk to me like that. It was sort of authoritarian to her. And I believe it because she was just that pretty and she was just that fine. And she was fine to the fact that when my boys found out that I had been fucking her, I mean, they was like, man, how the hell did you do that? And I was truthful with them. I told them, what I did. And I actually fucked up for a while with no strings attached for a long time because she was sexually attracted to what the balls that I had to do that. We actually cool now to this day. Me and her real cool. I talk with her every now and again on Facebook, but we real cool. But I'll never forget that. That was a red pill moment in my life that taught me something. That said, what the fuck you got to lose? You might as well do it. And when I noticed, when I started doing that, when I started saying and acting in that way, pussy was nothing. It already wasn't really that hard to get, But when I really started doing it like that, pussy was nothing. And pussy was pretty easy to get, you know. Wasn't very hard at all. And so, you know, most men, I believe, are not red pilled overnight. You know, most men are red pilled. Black. I will say this: black men, you know, we're forced to be red pilled pretty early. We're forced to look at certain realities pretty early because of the, you know, because black women are not any different from any other woman. I just believe that it's my assertion that black women are a little bit more advanced. And one thing you can appreciate about black women, you can certainly appreciate, and I definitely appreciate this about black women, you know, they're straight up and honest. You know, they're straight up with their female nature. I mean, they just come right on out, you know, motherfucker, you lame, you know, motherfucker, you this, motherfucker. They let you know where you stand. So, you know, women like that, if you, she tell you where you stand and you still pursue it, then I got to say, that would probably be on you. And that's certainly one thing I could definitely appreciate about black women. It's definitely a generalization, what I'm saying about black women. But I think a lot of people would agree that black women are upfront and direct in a lot of cases about things. And you can certainly appreciate that, because a lot of, you know, black women, if they don't like you, you don't have to waste your time. She's told you or expressed to you, you know, she ain't feeling you sexually like that. You know what I'm saying? And I would rather a woman be honest about that than drag me on, because I do believe, you know, white women's nature or other women's nature are just a little bit more sneaky. You know, it's a little bit more sneaky. But I'll dive into all that into another video. Yeah, but you do have to appreciate black women's candor. You know, like, you know, when a woman tells you to get out of her face, you know, it seems mean, but at least she ain't wasting your time, dude. You know, at least she let you know up front and straightforward, she don't want to deal with your ass. You know what I'm saying? I've seen women do that, and black women do that kind of stuff sometimes, and I can appreciate that. They do that. They're just up front, and especially now, if you're just a creep and you just continuously press forward with that kind of stupid shit, then yeah, I could understand a woman cursing you out. But, you know, I've seen black women, like I've approached a black woman before, because I mostly dated black women. I've dated outside my race before. You know, I fucked all different kind of women. But I just, for some reason, I love darker skinned women. I mean, I'm a sucker for darker skinned women. But those women, black women, I'm talking about black American women now, you know, you can appreciate their candor in a lot of cases. Is it mean sometimes? Yeah, it's mean. Sometimes it can be mean. Sometimes it can be, you know, right up in your face. But you have to appreciate the candor. You have to appreciate the non-time wasting factor of it. You know what I'm saying? Now, all black women are not like that. You know, they're not like that. But there's a lot of I've run into many black women like that nuclear reject men that they don't like. And that's fine. You know where you stand with her. You know what I'm saying? You know, she don't put you in the friend zone, none of that shit. You know, she just say, fuck it, I ain't, you know, I'm not, you're not attracted to me, and you know, take your inquiries elsewhere. I personally don't have a problem with that. I don't got a problem with it. So that's my video about female nature. I think I'll be doing a couple more videos on this, because this is a subject that intrigued me. I have spoke about this before. A matter of fact, I was on Ed Honcho's show, The Den, and I called in and we had a conversation about female happiness, and it was a very good conversation. A few people called in. It was a very good conversation that we had on The Den. Check out The Den if you can. It's like a night show. He does it at night intentionally. I mean, the show starts up about 10 every night. It's like the quiet storm of talk shows. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, guys, I'm out of here. I'm heading my ass into work, and I'm out. Shaolin Fantastic to the house. Peace.